I want to hear from last year's unsung hero and our fourth Queer of the Year, also one of this year's judges, Luna Middleton-Roy, to deliver tonight's keynote speech. Luna was unable to join us in person last year as they were graduating the day after the awards in Birmingham. They've already received their award, but let's take a moment as they approach the stage, that's your cue, Luna, to give them a huge round of applause. It's just not the same when you get applauded for winning.
Hello everyone, and a huge thank you to all of you for welcoming me here, whether it was last year and via live stream or to actually be here in person today has been absolutely fantastic, and to be in a room full of such genuinely inspirational people is such an honour. My name is Luna, I use she/they pronouns, and I'm a queer non-binary student based in Nottingham. In coming to the end of the year of teacher training this year, in having spent a lot of time in primary and secondary schools across the UK, and in being fairly fresh out of education myself, I've experienced a real range of queer communities in schools. I think that some of these are strong, they are confident, they are present within their school communities. Others might be quieter, they might be individual peoples who might not feel that they have others around them. But the point is that they all exist, and they are fantastic. When I think about the queer community in schools today, the first thing that comes to mind for me is badges, hence the slightly jazzy outfit for today. School uniforms aren't typically known, as you all know, as the #1 place for self-expression, but the thing that has struck me the most working in schools recently is how young people come together to share an aspect of their identity, whether it's badges on their blazers, their backpacks, their ties, and their message stands so clearly. I am proud of who I am, I accept you for who you are not alone. This goes for staff too, those wearing a rainbow badge on their lanyards to signal that they are a safe space, whether as a fellow queer person or as an ally. School should be a safe space for all queer and trans pupils, but unfortunately, as we know, it isn't always. As a teacher, an act as simple as wearing a small pride badge can make such a difference and tell pupils that they are not alone, that they can be themselves, that homophobia and transphobia won't be tolerated. Last year, for example, I worked in a school in Bishop Auckland, County Durham, and after noticing their fantastic collections of homemade badges, celebrate pride, protests, political movements that they were a part of at such a young age, I thought, right, we'll do a badge making session and have a chat about how you're finding school, what schools can do to make things better for you and for other queer people and trans people in your communities. Just last week, I watched people celebrate their Pride Week at my placement school in Nottinghamshire, and part of that included a badge and bracelet sale. It was so heartwarming to see pupils really come together and be excited to show off who they were, support their communities, whether it was buying a badge for a friend or a sibling. I think that one of the most heartwarming moments was seeing a group of 6 or 7 come together, scraping together in 2 hands every last penny they had to buy a £1 lesbian pride badge for their friend who had just come out to their parents and wanted to celebrate their true identity. It really was an odd moment. And I think that just really sums up just part of the power of who young people are today. They are kind, they are wanting to come together to really make a statement and to celebrate who they are and celebrate those around them. We've heard some fantastic work of the allies that are in this room and that are doing work everywhere around us, and I think part of that, seeing that in that friendship group for people from such an age was so impressive. I think queer signalling has such a rich and powerful history, whether it's through earrings, shoelaces, flowers, carabiners, badges. For as long as queer people have existed, they have found a way to come together, to have a way of showing off who they are, whether it be subtly in a way that protects them from the people around them, but still signals that they exist, that they are here, and that they are important. At a time when so many queer and trans people are under threat and face new challenges to their safety, simple acts of pride and allyship, such as wearing a badge, help to show young people that they are safe. So today I wear my badges with pride to honour those pupils and staff who make a difference to those around them, whether big or small. To those of you who work tirelessly behind the scenes to bring about policy changes, who spend hours campaigning to management to allow an event to take place, who put so much thought into planning and logistics to ensure Pride is accessible and inclusive for all. Thank you, you make a difference. To those of you who are visible role models within your communities, who take up space and use your platforms to advocate loudly for equality, and use your voice for those who may not have one, thank you, you make a difference. And especially to those of you who are still students yourselves, in school, in college, and university. You may be in the middle of exam season, you may still live at home with people who don't accept you for who you are. You may have to fight 2-3 times as loud to have your voice heard and be taken as seriously as your counterparts. And yet, you still fight to preserve the safety and the joy of other young queer people. Thank you, you make a difference. I stand in a room right now full of heroes for the LGBTQ community, and I am in awe, genuinely, of the work that you have done. Being a judge this year, I know other judges have said it on this stage, but it is really, really difficult to choose a winner out of the categories that I have picked, and to hear the work that people are doing at such a young age is so, so inspiring. It gives me hope to ensure that young queer people are safe and have a bright future. I'm proud of us all and of the family that we have built for ourselves, and I have hope for our future. Thank you.